chipomero mwari vanoburuka vachizarura denga kana tikabatana pasina chipomero mwari vanoburuka vachizarura denga mafambiro anozarura denga kune mahimbiro anozarura denga kune matambiro anozarura denga kana tikabatana pasina chipomero mwari vanoburuka vachizarura denga Tomuitire mwari wangu wanerudo
Once again, a very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Agribank Schools Deposit Promotion National Draw. We are so excited to have you all here today, and we hope that you are all going to have a good time. Sorry, the weather is a bit chilly, but because of our program, I am sure you're going to be feeling warm in no time. Are we all feeling excited about the grand prize? Yes. Which school thinks they are going to get the grand prize? Yes. Say out your name. What was that? We'll see about that.
That wasn't loud enough. Just one more time. Thank you very much. But what I'm noticing is the loudest is coming from the school kids. So the kids want the prize more than the kids. I think
we'll give the car to the kids.
Yes, I think it's not a problem. The kids can definitely have the car.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. Thank you for being on time. Today we are going to celebrate. We are going to celebrate. It's a happy day for Agribank. It's a happy day for all the schools that are here. If you are here today, it means you are very, very special. You are important to Agribank. We value our relationship with you, our invited guests. We would love to establish a relationship with you. So without further ado, allow me to introduce my co-director today. This very fine gentleman, taller than me. I don't normally get people who are taller than me, so it takes some getting used to. I need to change my shoes.
It's normal. It's normal. I'm sure as we work together, you should get used to that. You will never be as tall as I am.
Okay, well, you don't have to wrap it in.
I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give us a round of applause for Mr. Meketso Abu Vasutu, all the way from Matebeleland South.
I'll start off by greeting you. It is Salibonani. I Vile Matebeleland South. Mpinda ngiti Dumela. Mpinda ngiti. And And then take it up from there. That yes, this gentleman is tall and deliberate. So I owe no one to be this tall. And the reason why I've chosen to be the MC so that I can see everyone's head, so that they know who's going to win and who's not going to win. But anyway, without further ado, I've been swept off my feet because she's honored. It's supposed to be ladies first, but she's done it the other way around, and she's decided to honor the gentleman. Yes. And I'm sure that's how it's done on this side of the country. And allow me also to probably, when I look, without any negative comments, but the beautiful lady standing beside me happens to be Miss Wadzanai Kanyuchi, who's our sales consultant in Harare, and she's the co-director of ceremonies for today. And please give a round of applause. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That was really kind. Without further ado, I'm going to call upon Chishawasha Mission Primary School to sing the national anthem for us. If we may all be upstanding for the national anthem.
And for the gents, heads off, please. Just a gentle reminder.
Thank you. If we can have our phones on silent as well. Thank you. The choir may remain standing. We'll just have an opening prayer from Reverend Mazula. Then the choir will give us their first song.
Good morning to you all. Allow me to read you one verse from the book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 1. Psalms, chapter 127, verse 1. I shall read. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchmen watch but in vain. That is the end of the reading. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is very important and critical that for our success, we attach ourselves to those things that will make us retain and enjoy the success. I'm sure we are all here gathered because many of us have been helped by Agribank to attain and realize some form of success in one way or another. And I have no doubt that there are many schools that have benefited from the relationship with Agribank. But it is not Agribank that I want to talk about, although I've spoken about it. It is the relationship between us and God that I want to emphasize. Whatever we do, however we do it, let us not forget to attach ourselves to God Almighty. We must ask Him every day before we do whatever we do. And at the end of the day, we must also thank Him. Those that are desirous to take home what I am seeing packed out there, you might start talking to Him now. Otherwise, you will be laboring in vain. Let us pray. We thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for your love and care that has brought us all to this very important gathering. We kindly ask for your presence, guidance, and leadership throughout all our deliberations. May I pray for those that are going to preside over this very important function. I also want to pray for the participants, guide, lead, and protect them in everything that they are going to do. Your presence is what we ask for. In Christ Jesus' name, I commit this event into your hands. Amen.
Amen.
Agribank, you're all at the bank.
National draw, courtesy of Agribank. Yes, a national draw, where Agribank is giving away a brand new PAIC Grand Tiger single cab. Agribank, go to November, watch it.
Program. It is a program designed for schools that bank with Agribank. They are given an opportunity to enter this promotion through maintaining a stipulated minimum balance. Agribank, Kotonewema.
Community and supporting schools. Supporting schools is supporting the future of our country. Agribank, you're all-weather bank. Yes, we carry you through any financial storm. Agribank, Kotonewema.
As Agribank, we also offer school development loans to buy buses, build classrooms, dormitories, laboratories, sink bowls, you name it. In addition, we also give loans to support the income-generating projects and empower schools. Agribank, Kotonewema. Absolutely free. We don't eat into school funds. We are now offering no-straw school accounts for forex payments. Yes, universities and colleges are also included. In fact, we are open for any educational institution. Agribank, Kotonewema.
thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. But there's a complaint here coming from two people from Mad South. They are saying, Ingo Mibem Fichani. All they are saying is the song was a bit too short, just as the engines were getting warm and it was time to move on the dance floor. Then the song comes to an end. So, I think, but I was almost tempted to say the night is young, but no, the day is still young. And a reminder that it's a Friday. We would say Izu Arekufara, so if Friday, I would like to believe. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a resounding round of applause for Chishawasha Meeting Primary School.
Acting Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Mr. J. Dewan. Senior ministry officials gathered here today. We have seen many of them, Ms. Nyanungo among them, quite a number of senior directors that are with us and senior principal directors in the ministry. I might not mention all of them by name. We want to welcome you all. We want to welcome our board member, Mrs. Dito Mana. Thank you for coming to be with us this morning. We want to honor also and recognize the Agribank CEO, Mr. Esmala, as represented by Mr. Macheka, Mr. F. Macheka, who is the Divisional Director for Agricultural Development and Financing. Agribank senior management staff and staff, all our headmasters, our special guests today, and head mistresses, principals, heads of institutions, teachers, distinguished guests, we want to welcome you this morning. And maybe also permit me to make a special mention of our spiritual fathers. I can see Father Konori is amongst us, a great man of God and a father to our country. Reverend Mazula as well. Thank you very much for coming to be with us today. I also want to welcome, as I especially welcome all our headmasters who are special guests this morning, particular mention to Mr. Due all the way from Rwanda, and also Reverend Mazula again from Gokwe. Thank you. We know that we have today many headmasters from the four corners of the country. Today we are gathered to celebrate an ideal and a dream and a reality, which is the culmination of the journey of many years in terms of the partnership that we have had with the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, we heartily welcome every one of us again from all the four corners of our country, from Binga to Bay Bridge, from Nyamaropa to Nyamandyovu, from Nyatate to Chirimteti. Over the years, going back before multi-current, Agribank has had a continuing community social responsibility program, specially designed and expressly organized for the bank to give back to communities that support our business. And you will remember, for all our 45 branches in all the country's 10 provinces, over 60% of them are in rural areas. In many areas, guest of honor, we are probably the only bank in the community. We're thinking of Chibi, we're thinking of areas like Binga, we're thinking also of many places. So we are proud of this heritage. And in 2016, we decided to elevate this community give back program into an organized schools deposit promotion targeting all schools, primary and secondary, to give opportunity for specific monetary rewards to schools banking with us through a stylized and well-structured deposit promotion program, both at the national level and at the provincial level. Today, we are gathered for the national level. In March this year, guest of honor, we were in Rwanda again for the first leg of our coming together, which was the provincial awards draw. In Rwanda, Agribank gave altogether 64 awards to 64 schools, in total $68,000 that we gave back to schools. because we want to thank you for your partnership and for your continuing business relationship with Agribank. We want to thank you very much. And all the PMs and the branch managers that work with you, they are mostly here to celebrate with you. Today, we have got 14 hours before us, going to be won, including the grand prize, which is the single cab. So let me not take much of your time. We want to go ahead with the business of the day, but permit me to ask Mr. Macheka maybe to stand up, and the Agribank management team, if they can stand up, Mr. Macheka and your team say, and the Agribank senior management team, please kindly stand. This is your senior management team. Mr. Malava might join us here at the scheduled meeting. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause for the team that is running this program for you. Thank you very much. If you may take your seat. I now want to, with the greatest of respect, guest of honor, permit me to ask Ms. Nyanungo to come forward and introduce our guest from the ministry. Thank you very much. You will not see me here again until we dance together for the car. Have a blessed day.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I think before we introduce our ministry team that has come to support this event, I will ask somebody from Agribank to decode the Godorne Wema. Because I was wondering why Agribank is associating itself with a smell. But I hear there's a mystery behind that, so we are waiting to learn. But without much further ado, I would love to introduce our team. I will introduce the guest of honor at the appropriate time. From our ministry, we've brought a team from all the departments to support this event, and we will know their names when they step up to draw. For now, can I ask the head office team to stand up so you can be seen? So that is from the head office of your Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, including even the auditors. So everything has good corporate governance here. Please be seated. We also have some district schools inspectors, at least one among us. If we can have any of our DSIs to stand up and be known. So all the way from Matebele South, we've also come to support you, and he's representing the Provincial Education Director. We know we are behind time. You will know us when we start drawing the prizes. I know you can't wait. Just to make you laugh a little. In the southern part, some of our languages don't have an R. So, old ladies have been heard speaking. I'm going, yeah, Agribank. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Well, I'm sure the bank is not ugly. Seeing how handsome I am and seeing how beautiful she is, well, they will be forgiven for the mishap there. Then just before we go on...
Wait, but you know what we say in this part of the country? Kama something chakanaka, chakanyanya, toti chakaipa. And this is, saka kushata ugo ugly in there, but Agribank yakaipa.
I know so Agribank chikwapuro.
Yes, yes. Uganda takatichi, Agribank.
For those of us who are in Rwanda, just to hold him out, we coined the statement, which was more or less similar to what I've heard Koturne Wema, but it didn't mean that. It was a Sutu saying that says Agribank Kiona. In English, Agribank is the one.
Yes.
And Debele, Agribank Kiyo. Shona Agribank Kiyo.
Yeah, we set the pace. Vamwe vanotera, but atifairi zvedu kungoita chinyararire.
Takazvichaira saka aya hatikumbiri zvinongoitika zvega. We're all over Zimbabwe, as small as we are, but we're all over. And please, let's make the best of the day. And while we're there, Mr. Mverecha said, I would like to tender my apology. I was not able to stand up when you said the senior management must stand up. I got a cramp, but I so happened to be.
We are the managers today. We are managing the management. Please give us a round of applause.
Please give us a round of applause for managing.
See? We are managing them. They kept for us. Thank you very much.
It doesn't happen usually,
every day. Yeah.
But when you are given the reins, please use them.
Make use.
And we are making sure we're using them.
Yes. In a few minutes, we'll ask them to just stand and sit down so that they know who's managing.
Of course, so they know who's senior management today.
Moving right along, we are going to have some testimonies from school head from St. Christopher Primary School in Gwanda and Chezia High School head, who are just going to give us a few words about their experience with Agribank. So those who have not yet established a relationship with us, pay attention. You will hear what the others have done. Like I said, we don't like to brag, but it's in a tuntu.
And for those already in the Agribank bus, it's good to clap and nod and say that yes, that is true. I've also had the same, it's true. And you also forgot to say this again, so please add on. And then I'm sure as the testimonies come through, we'll begin to melt and the relationship will only but grow stronger and stronger by the day. So for now, it's that time that we must hear from our esteemed headmasters who have had banking relationships with us. St. Christopher's is Gwanda. I come from Gwanda and I know the relationship, but I don't want to spill the beans. Even though I'm senior management today, I'll delegate someone to do it for us. Mr. Dube from St. Christopher's, sir, over to you, sir. Would like to hear what you have prepared for us.
Okay, just a moment. We would also like to acknowledge the presence, as you are coming, sir, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Panyengwi, the UZ Vice Chancellor representative who is here today. Let's give them a round of applause. Mr. Dube, it's always a pleasure to work with you, sir. Please don't take our job from us. We know you do it better than us. Thank you.
But we're senior management today. Just remember that one.
Salibonani.
Yebo.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Yes, I've been introduced already. I'm Mr. T. Dube, Headmaster St. Christopher's, all the way from Matabele South in the heart of Gwanda town. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, observe all protocols. I will speak in the language that I'm very comfortable with, and that is English. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to have been invited to this competition of this magnitude by Agribank. And I also wish to take this opportunity and congratulate all the schools that have qualified to come to this competition. St. Christopher's Primary School, which is found in Gwanda, Mad South, has got a very good relationship with our bank, Agribank. And the relationship actually dates years back. Some of you, especially those of us who come from Matabeleland, will remember that when I was head in other schools in the countryside, already that relationship was already there. It was a personal relationship that existed between me and the provincial manager, Mrs. Priscilla Msundire. And every time we had functions like the prize giving days, we always invited her in the countryside to come and bless and preside over those functions, and she never disappointed. When I transferred from the countryside into the urban setup, to assume headship at St. Christopher's Primary School, that's a Group A school in Mad South. My job was made very simple in terms of continuing inviting Mrs. Priscilla Msundire to preside over those functions. because I was actually meeting the partner that I was working with before I assumed headship in that school. If it was a wedding kind of or a marital relationship, the one that we have, St. Christopher's, between St. Christopher's and Agribank, that was going to be described under, what's that? Chapter 5.11. Chapter 5.11. One husband, one wife, and vice versa. In short, that's what I can say about the relationship between St. Christopher's and Agribank. In those functions, on behalf of Agribank, she would make it a point that she leaves a token of appreciation to those schools. Our relationship, that is St. Christopher's, the relationship between St. Christopher's and Agribank was further cemented, ladies and gentlemen, in the year 2017, when an event of this nature was held in Gweru, Midlands. St. Christopher's, for that matter, or during that particular year, we decided to dispatch the deputy head, Mrs. Otilia Mabonga, to represent the school at Gweru. And through her magnetic hand, we scooped the prize worth $10,000 US. As a school, we sat down and made a resolution, made an agreement with the SDC, and we purchased a new Sprinter minibus from United Kingdom. As I speak, St. Christopher today is a proud owner of that Sprinter minibus, courtesy of Agribank. Ladies and gentlemen, can I direct this to all heads of schools who are here? That once you bank with Agribank, please, you don't go wrong. You don't go wrong. As St. Christopher's, Agribank, we are very, very proud to be associated with you. Those of us who have never been to St. Christopher's, you go there to see the relationship that is there. The moment you get into the main entrance of the school, the first thing that greets you there, JB from ZBC knows that, he can witness. Or the signpost that greets you there, it is proudly sponsored by Agribank. Welcome to St. Christopher's in bold words, and underneath, proudly sponsored by Agribank. I'm not very sure, ladies and gentlemen, in this gathering, if there are any banks, if they are there, then I would like to say to you, please, you are welcome to St. Christopher's. Take this chance and come and sell your business there. Simply because St. Christopher's is a school that is open for business. But let me sound a warning to those banks that are not St. Christopher's, those that are not Agribank. You need to work extra hard in order to outdo or to outmaneuver the Agribank routes that are there in St. Christopher's. Yes. At the present moment, we are running 2 accounts with Agribank, and the other account is in the other bank. And unfortunately, this other bank this other account, which is not in Agribank, is an SDC account. And as a school, we are willing to buy a bus perhaps at the end of the year or so. And unfortunately, this is the account that can buy a bus. We have sat down as a school and we have made a resolution to say we want to transfer that account to join these other two accounts into Agribank. So we are doing the final modalities now. I can assure you, Basutu, when we go back to Rwanda, you will see me knocking at your door, having transferred that SDC account to join the two accounts that are already in your bank, because our wish is to buy a bus. Right. That's, ladies and gentlemen, the business aspect of Agribank. Again, on the social aspect, let me go to the social aspect. By virtue of being the head of the school, every time the ministry actually loses either a teacher or a head of a school, we always go to the funerals. And in those circumstances, I'm not very sure with the other branches or other provinces, but what I've realized, or what I have actually witnessed with Mat South through Mrs. Msundire, is that she actually features in all those circumstances. She walks the talk, she walks the motto of the Agribank, the all-weather friend. The last encounter I had with Mrs. Msundire was in December 2018, that was last year, where she had driven over 200 kilometers outside Rwanda in Mbembezi. That is Mbembezi, Rwanda, I mean, Mad North. That was at the funeral of our former DSI, who had passed on, Mrs. Samkeli Sodlamin. I remember meeting Mrs. Msundire there. So Agribank goes outside the business as well and is there for all the aspects in Mat South. I'm not very sure with other provinces. As a word of advice, because a good friend actually advises, senior management of Agribank, if you dream of removing Mrs. Msundire from Matebele South, if by any chance you dream of removing her from there for whatever reason, be either promotion or whatsoever, you need to pray again to God so that you revise your dream. Yes, she is doing a splendid job on behalf of Agribank. I think you are listening, Mr. Mwene. Ladies and gentlemen, I will have done injustice if I don't say this. I'm here for the competition, yes, but I'm very happy to mention that all the way from Rwanda, Agribank has taken care of me in all the aspects. Yesterday, I had a very comfortable night in the hotel room. In the hotel room, Mr. Permanent Secretary said, I'm not very sure from the Agribank personnel if there is any room for the extension of nights. Otherwise, I enjoyed a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to say, as St. Christopher's, we are always behind you. May I also take this opportunity to wish all the schools that are here for this competition the best. I want to thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a wonderful testimony. But there's something that I would like to ask, or just to jog people's memory. Say, when you mentioned that if you dream of yourself transferring Ms. Msundire, you must pray to the gods to say, can I revise my dream? What do you think? There's someone who spoke about dreaming. Does that sound?
Actually, all I can say is, Mr. Ngwenya, I think you have been warned. He said this in Gwanda, and he's saying it again. He means business. I think Mrs. Musundire should just stand up so that we give her a big round of applause. She's doing a good job being our ambassador. Masalu, siyabonga, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we are going to have our testimony from Reverend Mazula, and then after that we'll just have a 15-minute tea break so that we just get warm a bit, and then we'll proceed with our program. So far we are on time. It's good to work with school heads. You guys are always punctual. Let's give him a round of applause.
Once again, a pleasant morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Outside the headship office, I am a preacher. My sermons are normally relatively long. Then the two managers limited my time. I don't know if they are going to dare me.
We'll see.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Chezia Goko High School was the only boarding school then in Gokwe South District. At that time, it charged the lowest boarding fees, not only in the district, but even in the country. And I'm sure that scenario prevails today. However, there are other schools that have since mushroomed to boarding status. I see there is one such head amongst us, head of Locals Empowerment Girls High. She is with us. If you can kindly raise your hand, madam. So yes, that's another boarding school we have in Gokwe South. You are welcome to agribusiness. Right, the reason why I mentioned the background of Chezia Goko High School is because at that time, we looked at the community. Remember, we were surviving in an agro-based community where the majority of our clientele are farmers, and you want to be sensitive regarding their ability to raise and pay fees. So naturally, we had to come up with a fees package that they could afford. And then we really saw the vision and the need of buying a bus. But unfortunately, given that you are charging the lowest boarding fees in the country, how can you buy a bus when even those that are charging 3, 4, 5 times are failing? That was a mammoth of a task. So we sat down with the chairperson and other members of the SDC, and then we crafted up a plan with management of Agribank. It was not an easy task. I remember when we wrote our first application that was meant to assist us to buy this bus, it hit a solid wall. We were told in uncertain terms that it can't. But we sat down with the very patient manager. We rewrote our letter and resubmitted it. And this time it went to a higher office, I believe. And the second time it sailed through. It would be folly for me to refer to a manager as if the manager does not exist. May I kindly ask Madam JK to stand up? I saw her somewhere. Yes, there she is. She's the person who actually assisted us to get the 63-seater Yutong bus. The 63-seater Yutong bus I am talking about was specifically manufactured for Chezia Goko High School in China. And specifically branded Chezia Goko High School in China. courtesy of SDC. And we didn't forget to have it branded that it was donated by SDC. I'm happy that the chairperson of the SDC is here. Mr. Mabanga, can I kindly ask you to be seen? He is the man that made Gokwe South have its first bus, this one. So I want to thank Agribank for the support that they gave. And because of the 63-seater bus, we're now able to partake in the various educational tours that we're not able to before then. We were able to go to falls, we were able to go to Great Zimbabwe, we were able to go to Chirezi, we were able to go to Mtare Nyanga, Vumba Mountains, and so on. And that vastly contributed to the improvement our pass rate. And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that Chezia Goko High School is known for producing not only some of the best results in the district, but in the province as well as in the country, courtesy of these educational tours that we are able to make. And we want to thank Agribank for that support. But I want to say to you that those results have not just ended with Chezia Goko High School, because we're getting these so very good and colorful results. The head of the school who is standing before you got identified by the then Provincial Education Director for Matabeleland South, who is now the Permanent Secretary for Primary and Secondary Education, to make a presentation at a national conference for all ELCZ schools. And the presentation that I made was done with Sister Jangara, head Regina Mundi in Midlands. And courtesy of that presentation results in most, if not perhaps, all ELCZ schools improved. So we want to thank that. Now, I want also to register my appreciation to the support that we have been given by the school as Agribank. The last national draw that we had in Gweru at Chaplain High School, we were not able to get the first position, but we didn't fail to get the second. We walked away with Mr. Mabanga with 7,000, I'm sure it was US dollars then, not this other one. Yes. 7,000 US dollars, we pocketed it because we were having a sound account. We want to thank Agribank for that one. And I want also to share with you that courtesy of the account that we are holding with Agribank, we are able to get very attractive and lucrative bank interest. Standing before you, as I'm speaking to you, from January to date, we have accumulated in excess of 10,000 as interest from Agribank. From January to date. And we have hardly failed to clock more than 24,000 in a year from bank interest. What kind of savings do you want? We are very happy. And these are some of the things that have helped us to finance some of our obligations that otherwise have been a challenge. These are some of the things that have contributed to the ever-improving results that the school is witnessing. And I also want to express my appreciation to the sterling support we have been given by Agribank, particularly during our school prize giving days. They have given us such great prizes that every learner is struggling to have a grab of those prizes. Thank you so much, Mrs. JK, for the legacy that you left in Gokwe. But I saw another very important person here, Mr. Mundira. I don't know if, yes, Mr. Mundira. Mr. Mundira is still with Gokwe Agribank. Yes, extensively supported us as a school. They've actually made us get to our destination. And one thing I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that whenever I went to Agribank with the chairperson, sometimes after knocking at the door of the manager's office, I felt like making a U-turn and going back home. Because I was not sure that I was not being a nuisance to her, I was not bothering her. But when I put my head into the office, Mrs. JK shocked me with that unusual smile, because sometimes I knew that we're giving a bother. I want to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that Agribank management is a very listening management. Mr. Ngwenya, thank you so much for having such a team. I don't know whether you grab them from somewhere with that natural talent, or you develop the talent itself, but I'm giving testimony that they're a team to reckon with.
Yeah.
guest of honor, Permanent Secretary Mrs. T. Tapela, represented by Mr. M. Dewa, the Acting Permanent Secretary, Principal Directors and Directors, Heads of Schools or their representatives, the Agribank Board, represented by Mrs. Tomana, Executive Management and staff, invited guests, our school children, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are gathered to celebrate a special day, an integral part of our DNA as Agribank, within which is giving back to communities who support our business. Over the past few years, the bank has elevated our unique community interventions and support program, particularly reflecting our ingrained belief that communities are our business and therefore an integral part of our mission. Guests of honor, sir, since achieving turnaround and profitability in 2016, the bank has been expanding support to its core mandate, agriculture financing and development, whilst at the same time expanding commercial banking initiatives, particularly in the areas of deposit mobilization. Financing agriculture requires significantly high levels of deposits for both capital and working capital expenditure. The bank has therefore sustained multi-layered initiatives towards expanded deposit mobilization programs. The school's deposit draw is one such event, allowing Agribank to achieve simultaneously the mutually integrated objectives of deposit mobilization as well as investing back into our communities. The school's deposit competition was introduced in 2016, and qualifying schools met minimum deposit thresholds for both the national and provincial competition draws. The objective is to spread to all provinces the benefits of the competition, because Agribank is a national bank with 45 branches in the country's 10 provinces. The impact of the inaugural competition was to increase schools' deposits with Agribank by 35%, from 4.6 million in 2016 to about 6.2 million at the end of 2017. We now target to increase schools' deposits by no less than 40% per annum going forward. For the inaugural awards in 2017, a total of 64 schools in all the provinces won awards totaling 28,000 in the provincial draw, while 13 schools won awards amounting to 30,000 in the national draw. Guests of honor, sir, this year the awards are much larger, reflecting our gratitude to the over 3,000 schools that have retained faith and continue to do business with Agribank across the country. We continue to support our schools to meet their school development needs, including purchasing of school buses, purchase of school vehicles, building and equipping science blocks, agriculture and agro-based school and college programs, provision of building roofing materials for schools. Agribank continues to support schools through a host of initiatives and programs, including school support for schools in disadvantaged communities, such as Binga, Checheche, and Bohera. And there are a number of projects that we support in Binga, which has included buses, science laboratory, block roofing and painting cottages, and other such projects. In addition, the bank sustains an ongoing program for donations to schools in all the provinces, particularly at prize-giving functions. The bank held the Provincial Deposit Competition Awards in Gwanda on the 23rd of March 2019. A total of 64 schools in all the country's 10 provinces won various awards. A cumulative total of 68,000 was disbursed to the winning schools. Again, testament to our support of supporting countrywide presence, making sure we have countrywide presence, and our commitment to balance national support. All the 10 provinces benefited from the awards. We are delighted that most of the beneficiaries were schools in devastated communities. These interventions we hope to sustain on an ongoing basis as they are mutually beneficial initiatives. Agribank is committed to giving back on a continuing basis to schools that do business with us. We are grateful for both new and old relationships, and we see a growing tide of schools, primary, secondary, government, council, mission schools coming on board. We treat all our customers as uniquely special, and we honor everyone in partnership with us. Let us know how we can improve our service, even our product offerings. It is a great honor for the bank to be in partnership with you, working together towards a shared destiny, shared growth, and shared development. Today, there are 14 awards before us, with the grand prize being the single cab truck. Guest of honor, sir, we are ennobled and indeed highly honored today by your presence and that of your senior staff and your acceptance to preside over the grand occasion. We are also honored by the presence of the headmasters and their representatives and the schools here present. We want to thank you for once again taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this national worthwhile cause. You have always supported us, and we will always be there for you. And we are grateful for your support and the support of primary and secondary education. I want to say thank you very much, and thank you for your continued support. It now gives me great pleasure to call upon our guest of honor, representing the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Tabela, the Acting Permanent Secretary, Mr. Dewa, to come and address us. Acting Permanent Secretary, sir.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The Agribank Chief Executive Officer, Mr. S.M.T. Malaba, whom I'm meeting for the second time. He was my chairman of Rupani State University when he was in higher education. All senior government officials here present. I recognize Chief Director Ms. Nyanungo and directors here present. DSIs, inspectors, school heads here present. Agribank board members, management and staff, ladies and gentlemen, and all learners. I hope you hear me when you take your bite during tea time. Good morning to you all. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Agribank for inviting me to officiate this year's Agribank National Schools Deposits Competition Awards draw. Today, we celebrate the result of the Agribank School Deposit Promotion Program, and I'm aware of the attractive prizes that the participating schools are eagerly hoping to have won. I will therefore make my remarks as brief as possible in keeping with the anticipatory mood of the event. Prolonging the speech would otherwise be like a long prayer before a sumptuous meal. Or like our Reverend Mazula from Chesia. The Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education values the important role of the private sector. In this case, the banking sector, in supporting the development of schools towards the attainment of our national vision of becoming an upper middle class economy by the year 2030. Hence, this invitation is appreciated in the spirit of partnership between the public and the private sector. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the culture of saving and investment is one of the key challenges that the curriculum, the competence-based curriculum framework, which we are rolling out, focuses upon. We are implementing it, and we expect all primary and secondary schools nationwide to take on board, particularly this aspect of banking as they learn entrepreneurship. It's one of our key exit profiles that we expect our learners to have, that they understand how to save money and use it properly. The ministry is therefore happy to be part of the national effort to achieve full financial inclusion and empowerment of all citizens, particularly the learners in our schools, through financial literacy and the practical development of related practical competencies such as personal budgeting, prudent expenditure, saving targets, and the investment acumen. Please allow me to take this opportunity to remind all educators among us here today to take advantage of relationships with the financial sector players such as Agribank in translating the competence-based curriculum into existing practical learning opportunities for learners from as early as 4 years of age when they enter school system at ECD, all the way up to university. I see Dr. Panyengu is here from University of Zimbabwe. Recognizing Agribank's mandate in terms of financing agricultural development in Zimbabwe, we as a ministry are anxious to see how your bank, Mr. Malawa, will partner the ministry in enhancing practical education of learners on sustainable farming practices from a tender age that is in line with our competence-based curriculum. In our schools, you find that agriculture is a core component of the curriculum, and schools are engaged in projects that go along this. We are anxious to see how your bank will partner with our schools in that regard. We look forward to see more elaborate partnership with Agribank in this regard. As we celebrate the winners of this competition here today, it is important to keep in mind the equity focus of the current education sector strategic plan. Ultimately, the development of the primary and secondary education sector will be judged by its ability to direct resources towards the neediest or least resourced schools, and thus narrowing the gap between the wealthiest quartile and the schools in the less socio-economically privileged quartile. This equity challenge presents much opportunity for Agribank and other private sector players to embrace schools in its corporate social responsibility program. In this vein, the Minister appreciates the Agribank concept of community give-back initiatives that include the timely response to the needs of some of the schools that were affected by Cyclone Idai. It is a good example indeed. I'm also aware that Agribank has deliberately targeted schools in areas such as Binga, Checheche, and Bohera for its largest amount of donations over the last 2 years. I'm reliably informed that Agribank has been very supportive of school development programs through and low-cost financing packages that Agribank has availed to schools. Agribank has shared evidence with our ministry of the following initiatives that the bank has funded through the low-cost financing to some of the schools. The examples include provision of building or roofing materials for schools, building and equipping science laboratories, purchase of computers and the related software and equipment, agriculture and agro-based school programs, purchase of school buses. I was talking to Mr. Macheka and they were saying, you see all those buses going to read by the door, there's something written to say supported by Agribank. Let's clap hands for Agribank for this support. So we thank you very much for assisting our schools in the purchase of school buses and school vehicles. As a ministry, we cherish such tangible support towards better school infrastructure, transport, and the enhanced supply of teaching and learning materials for schools, and invite other private sector organizations to support the education of Zimbabwe's children for mutual benefit. After all, education contributes immensely towards the human capital for the development of our country. In conclusion, I wish to commend Agribank for opening branches in rural and remote areas, as this is one way of bringing services closer to our schools and reducing inconveniences to our school administrators and teachers when they require banking services. Thank you very much for that. I want to believe yes, you are happy with that development. When teachers can access banks and other amenities closer to their workplaces, the quality of teaching and learning is better assured.
So I'll just go in there.
While the security of school funds is increased. In essence, the ministry welcomes corporate social responsibility programs towards supporting where the need is greatest and the PPP initiatives that contribute to improving the practical relevance of financial literacy, sustainable agricultural practices, school development financing, improved learning environments, teaching and learning materials, and equipment, as well as equitable access to banking services for all. Thank you, Agribank, for your efforts on such aspects. I believe there is enough excitement for the announcement of the winner of this draw. It's time to conclude this speech. So, in that regard, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, allow me to proceed to officially open this draw, and I wish all schools the best of luck. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, our guest of honor, sir. If you may just give us a moment before you leave. We'd really like to express our appreciation for you taking time off your very busy schedule to be with us today. Like you heard our guest of honor say, agriculture is a core component of our schools, so you need to have that relationship with Agribank. At this moment, I'm going to call upon Zizai Mabika to come and present our gift to the guest of honor. Just a small token for us expressing our gratitude for you being with us today and supporting us always. Thank you very much. You can carry it for me. Yes. So now we move on to the part that we have all been waiting for. Just get up on your feet and jump and sit down. We are the directors of ceremony. Just get up and sit and jump. Yes. I say it to you. Ye who jumps first will win this car. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you believe?
If you speak it, it is yours today. I am so excited. I am nervous, and I'm not even at school.
I'm nervous because, as Mr. Dewey said, that at Agribank we have personal relationships with our clients.
Yes.
So when one of my clients wins, I equally have
I think we need a disclaimer because we've got several clients. If you see me too excited for somebody who will have won a prize, it doesn't mean that I'm not happy for you. You are all our clients and we love you all. I like what Mr. Ngwenya said. I will ask you to say it, what you said in Gwanda. He said something when we were in Gwanda for the provincial draw. For those who will win and for those who will, I don't know how to say lose, but you know, those other ones. Mr. Ngwenya, please tell us what to do.
No, I can't remember what I said.
You just let me down. No, you said those who win.
I'm joking.
Don't do what you say.
Yeah, I just said those who win should win with dignity.
Yes.
Those who lose should lose with humility.
Yes.
If there's a draw, say, how do we handle that one?
Tata my chance fell. So I am going to request some assistance. If we can have the draw drum brought in here. Julie, if you can have some guys assist us with the draw drum to bring it in here. We'll have our auditors bring in the cards, the entry cards. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for.
But just a reminder, I happen to come from North South, both by work and by birth. And the last time, North South schools really shined when this draw was done in Midland. So
history will not repeat itself.
No, history has always repeated itself. If we did it then,
we did it here.
Did it again.
This time, Midlands will did it. I'm from Midlands.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our auditor, Tafatwa. Mr. Fatwa Mundete, our auditor, will just show us, maybe we're Pamberi. Just show us that all the tickets are sealed. If you had your one entry, it's in there. If you had 90 entries, they are in there. Basically, the number of entries that you get are determined by the amount that you kept in your account as a balance. So your book balance determines how many entries you have of winning in this grand prize draw. So we're going to kickstart our draw with the consolation prizes. We've got 10 consolation prizes of $2,000 each. 10 consolation prizes of $2,000 each. So I'm going to call upon Mr. Chimbera, Mr. Ngwenya, and Mrs. Chigunde in that order to come and draw the first 3 consolation prizes. And I will ask Julia to come and assist me with the presentation of the check. Okay, just a moment to our head of strategy and marketing, Mr. Mberecha. He just wants to explain something. Just to
cool us down. I came with the money man, the very man who is giving us money to draw us the first draw, the finance director for Agribank. Mr. Elfas Chimbera. But before he draws, I wanted just parents and every one of us to know that the way this draw is completely transparent and very fair. Why do we say it's fair? Schools who qualified, all of you who qualified, on average deposited more than 10,000. We are grateful for that. Every school that had 10,000 had a ticket or one ticket, isn't it? And then for every 5,000 above that, an additional ticket. So what that means is the more the school put in their deposits, the more the cards they have. Is that fair? That was Roy Raima. So what that means is there are some schools with 8 tickets, there are some schools with 1 ticket, there are some schools with 20, there are some schools with more. All the very best to all of us. Thank you very much, sir. But just to break English a bit, I know what our educators here. So that it sounds fair. When a school has 1 ticket, you won't say they have 1 ticket, you say they have 1 ticket, say. And, if a school has 5 tickets, you say they have 5 tickets. So everyone has got tickets. Whether it's 1 ticket or it's 100 tickets, we all have tickets. So just to be fair,
it will not work.
It will work.
Let's just move.
Simple.
Let's just move forward. Okay, allow me also to introduce Mr. Derek Marao, our IT specialist here with us, IT security. He is here because these things come from the bank system, so he's working together with the auditors just to make sure everything is above board, so that when you win properly. If you have not won, I don't like to say lose. No one is a loser when they're banking with Agribank. You are a winner. Congratulations for making the right decision to choose a proper bank to bank with. Clap hands for yourselves. In fact, I feel like I should just play a song and dance for these guys. I feel like dancing. Do you want me to dance or do you want the drum?
Let's go.
Okay, let's roll it, Mr. Marao. To win the money, Papa. Hey, 14 prizes. 14 prizes. Your school is one of them. I have prophesied. So our finance director, Mr. Chimbera, is going to do the first draw, the first consolation prize, $2,000. You need some advice. You see, he's the FD, but he's asking us for advice. We told you we are the managers today. Clap hands for us. What advice, sir? It will not work. Simple. In there. Simple.
No.
In there.
On the top.
And you can face that side.
Please face Mad South.
No, face Midlands.
Please face Mad South.
Okay. But
this one. in all fairness.
Oh my God. You know, accountants, they want to be very transparent in everything that they do. Let's keep it. Now he wants to go in, Mr. Let 2,000. But 20,000.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and single privilege to announce the winner of the first consolation prize in the Agribank 2019 Schools Deposit Promotion. And the first winner is customer number 93605.
Chimamira. Mama hutonzwa ya kushika kwenyuka. Rekati mwenda break. Okay, tell them.
I will start again. Customer number 936056. Customer number 936056.
Okay, our auditor will just confirm which school that is. Chesia Gogo!
We start the game.
Wow!
Relationship manager there.
Thank you. Well done, sir. Wow! Yes, you still do. Okay, let's just have you there. Do we want to do it behind the draw drum or... Okay, that's all right. I'm going to be in the picture as well. Yeah, you can stand there, but it's okay. We can see you. We can see. They can write to be continued at this. Well done, Reverend Mazula. If I had known, I would have said the first prayer as well. Maybe it would have given us an opportunity to get the first prize. Language,
Right, DJ, thank you very much. Right, guys, the third consolation prize goes to customer number 841564. 841564.
Mr. Kazondo, Mama Sumzaro, it can't be Manika Land. Well done. And the pictures come down. Get one. kunzima kunzima amba kamtambiro kataita ndakusweta unoziva nazwa kuchacha. Number 4, the 4th consolation prize ichadrowewa by our Chief Internal Auditor from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Shua. Please come and help us with the draw of the 4th consolation prize. Who is feeling lucky? Who is getting this one? Let me see if there are any prophets in here. Who is getting this one?
Someone is feeling lucky.
Just say your name. Auntie? Auntie, what's courage girl? No boss. Auntie. What is it? Look at it. What is it? Look at it. And I'm not sure. Because I'm serious about it.
So we know what's up. Me no.
Company. Agribank.
Right. The 4th consolation prize goes to customer number 709,650. Customer number 709,650.
And our auditor, Mary Mount Mission! Harare! Get it?
Manika Linda. But why?
Manika Linda, Maneta, well done, Mary Mount Mission, Sunomuka. Mr. Lafo, my way, Nasi Shenito Fadirwa. Makorokota Baba. Congratulations on choosing the best bank in the land. Yeah, well done, well done. Yeah, you know, Mr. Kazondo is my boss. You know, we worked together for years, and he always said, what's her name? One day you will have the opportunity to shake my hand. I think this is it. He has always been associated with the best. Now I know what he has been talking about. Well done, Mary Mount. That's $2,000. Thank you, our Chief Internal Auditor, Mr. Schumer. Thank you very much for conducting this draw. I would like to call upon the Acting Director of Primary Education, Mr. Chirume, to conduct the 5th draw. The 5th consolation prize.
You know, usually wind blows from east to west, and the western province in Zimbabwe is Matsav. So we're coming from the eastern part of Zimbabwe, which is Manicaland, and we're blowing towards Gwanda, Plumtree, Pike Beach. In that direction is Chena Jakadar.
So you're still, your money is still on WhatsApp?
Even my head.
Mr. Chirume, sir, please draw wisely, draw Midlands. The center, you know, everything is around the center. In anything that you do, the center is key.
Migration trends are from north to south.
Just read that number from the Midlands.
I'm reading it under duress. Right, the number is number 567389. 567389.
Madam Auditor. St. Luke Jemeza! That must be Midlands. Is that not right? Is that not Chifu? The province. Right. Okay. Well done, well done, well done.
Thank you, well done.
Mr. Mdavan, which province is this? Makorokoto. So that's Harare? Yes. Okay. St. Luke Jemeza is under Harare province. It's in Marsh East, but he's boasting because the account is at Executive Banking. It's his client. Well done, St. Luke Jemeza from Marsh East. Well done. $2,000 in your pocket, courtesy of Agribank. We are moving on to number 6, the Research Officer for Primary Education, Mr. Chidota. Please come and assist us in conducting this draw, the 6th consolation prize. Which school in the Midlands will take this $2,000?
I'll tell you the school in Matsouth.
I don't think there's a school in Matsouth that's going to take this one. It's the Midlands. Around Gweru somewhere. Somewhere.
Walk it. Where's south, by the way? I think I should look south. I'm sure we will get it.
We have a winner.
Follow me. Right, follow me now. The customer number is 798362. 798362.
Madam Auditor.
The winner is Glock.
That must be Blayo.
High School from Blayo, Matebele North.
I told you, once she starts, she won't get off this place. Well done, well done, well done. Well done. No, it only makes sense.
This is the Blayo Matebele North province.
When there's a woman running the show, you can only be a winner.
So
give her a round of applause.
We've done 6 out of 10. And we've had winners from Manikaland. We've had winners from Manikaland. We've had winners from Matebele North and Bulawayo. We've had winners from Midlands. We've had winners from Harare. So the 4 remaining consolation prizes.
This is Mat North. Confirm, Miss Madiba?
Yes, Bulawayo and Matebele North.
This is Mat North. Yeah.
Bulawayo and Matebele North.
Well done, well done, well done. Moving right along. I would like to call upon our next guest to conduct the 7th draw. That is Mr. Garakasha, non-formal education. From the non-formal education, Mr. Garakara. Let's give him a round of applause.
He comes to pick the winner from Matebele South.
From Midlands. He knows better. He knows better.
I'm tempted to sit down.
You know it would be good for me. I'm just picturing myself going home at Christmas and saying, you see that school in the Midlands that won this prize. It's from my work, my workplace, Agribank. Huh? You know how people boast when their children come home for Christmas and they're saying, we are the ones developing this school.
Right, number is 816190. Number 816190.
Madam Auditor, Norton 2 Primary. Well done, Norton 2 Primary School.
Norton 2 Primary School.
Well done, well done. Everyone is a winner when they bank with Agribank.
The province is Mashonaland West.
Mash West, well done, sir. Well done, congratulations. Provincial Manager, Makorokoto. I'm still there. Well done, Wakoma Wakustawa. Miss Mushore, well done. DJ Mira. DJ, better number. Not one. Sorry, not one. Not one. Yes. Come follow me. I'm going to get my grand prize. That's what's like a confusion. But it's a great prize. We love this kind of energy, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, well done. To end up at number 8, we'd like to call upon the physical. Okay, we'd like to call upon the physical education coordinator, Mr. Chisho, to conduct the 8th consolation prize draw. Mr. Chisho. Mrs. My apologies. He's listening, he's probably listening on radio right now. My apologies. Mrs. Chisho, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
A round of applause for you, ma'am.
As she conducts the draw for the 8th consolation prize for Midlands Province.
Which is going to Matebele South Province. I'm praying hard.
It will not wait. This is number 8. We want to get to Matebele.
I'm praying hard. We are going to Matebele South. Here we come.
Tell him, say, he's not listening. It won't work.
It will work simple. Right, number 8 is customer number 660060. 660060. Customer.
Madam Auditor. Yes! Wise Owl Primary School!
So it happens to go to Wise Owl Primary School.
Harare and Mash East!
Harare and Mashali
Well
East.
done, well done, Tim.
Well done, Tim.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of biased. My managers know akuya. Chikoro change provincial manager. Huh? What's no not it? Oh, answer very good for lunch. It's okay. It's alright. That's why I'm well done, Mash East Harare and Mash East. We move on to consolation prize number 9. I would like to call upon the PA in the Permanent Secretary's office, Miss Munjeri, to help us with the 9th consolation prize draw. This one is definitely going to go to, isn't that not so? Is that not so, ma'am? Okay.
Ma'am, please, Matsal. Please. Am I big? Am I big? Please, Matsal.
Too late, Basuto.
Please.
It's too late.
Matsal. Please, Matsal. Am I big?
Ah, I see. Now you're letting me down.
Right. The 9th consolation prize goes to customer number 644818. 644818. And it goes to Mount Sunset Primary School, and it seems like it has stayed in Harare.
Yes, Mount Sunset, well done, well done, well done. Come and claim your $2,000. Well done. Where is Zuraim? I think it's just stepped. Oh, he's running. Well done, well done, well done.
Congratulations, sir.
Well done, Mount Sunset. You see, the primary schools are dominating.
Yes,
they're taking this.
I'm wondering where the high schools are. But we're getting there. We're getting there. What number?
Number 10.
Number 10.
Final consolation prize.
I believe in saving the best for the last, and knowing that Material South is the best.
Yeah, well, we'll see. This is a national draw.
This is the national draw.
The prize is just to go national. So now we go to the Midlands. Mrs. Mahonde, please come and help us draw the 10th consolation prize.
For Material South.
The 10th. Kana marusa apa mkana. Makwenda pa mamonya. Don't worry. You've got 4 big ones. I think it's okay to do Midlands anytime that.
Right, I'm sure you can tell that we're now at consolation prize number 10, and the customer number is 958712. 958712.
Veko Midlands ngogara emasumka mukusaidza manje manje.
Siboti ndiyakona ziva mashandi. Ungasiphunyiwe into lo.
Tafatso verenga mushi.
Mchavezi.
Hey!
At least. Now we are talking.
Chavezi! From Mad South, is it?
Yes, from Material South.
Wow! I remember you. Oh, they're always winners.
Yes.
Well done. Oh, my son.
From Mad South.
Well done.
What I said we believe in saving the best.
Yeah, but we heard. I am so jealous. Well done, Mad South. You always do us proud. Thank you very much for your support. You deserve this.
Congratulations, Mad South.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mad South. we can now sit down.
Right, so we're moving on to this.
I'm jealous.
It's less prices, but it's the heavier half of the competition.
Okay, so now we are moving to the Makulu ones.
The drum is rolling, the drum is rolling, the drum is rolling. We should be getting our prizes coming out now.
Okay, now we are getting instructions from left, right, and center. Yes, Arakungo spin it. Let's spin it until they are satisfied. If you lose with dignity. Those are very important words.
They were said in
my boss says it. It's not me. It's my boss. I'm just reiterating.
I'm just getting a reminder here that the fourth prize, we shall not be drawing it. It is going to be an award to the highest depositor.
Yes, so what happens with the highest depositor? This is a school that maintained at least a minimum balance of at least $500,000. So they are winning this prize because of the minimum balance that they maintained in their account during the promotion. And to give away this award is our Executive Director, Mr. Francis Macheka. Sir, please come and present the award to our highest depositor. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Like Basusi said, this is not being drawn. He's just going to present it because we already know who the highest depositor was. Perhaps our Executive Director would like to say something as he presents the check. I know I'm managing the managers today, but I might get fired tomorrow if I don't give him the platform.
Sorry, they should have announced this here. But what I am presenting here is not a draw. I am presenting here prices for the highest depositors that kept a minimum of $500,000 in their account throughout the competition.
Read the check, you can lift it.
The one I'm presenting this amount now to is Kezia High School.
Reverend Masila once again.
Congratulations, Kezia High School.
They win a whopping $5,000.
Managed to maintain a minimum balance of above $500,000 throughout the life of the competition. Congratulations, congratulations, Siabonga. Congratulations once again.
Well done.
Maintained a healthy balance.
Oh, thank you very much.
Midlands, finally.
Oh, yes. So, like I said earlier, I don't like to brag, but you see, everything I touch is good. Midlands, here we are. Kezia has done it again, and they're going to did it again on the first prize.
And Mansell did it in 2017, and we're doing it again today.
Today you want to do it? Today it can't. It will not work. Well done, Kezia. A big round of applause. I just want to say, sorry, the chairperson of Kezia and the school head, you are very wise men indeed. You are wise men. It is not every day that you come across a wise man. For a wise man knows the proper bank to choose to put school funds. Give them a round of applause.
It wasn't loud enough. This is just another round of applause, a louder one.
We're
getting the last thing.
Okay, now we move on to the third prize, and I'm going to call upon the Chief Director, Miss Nyanungo. Miss Nyanungo, please come and assist us by drawing the third prize of a whopping $10,000. Yes, ma'am, you do. Midlands, ma'am.
Is anyone feeling lucky?
They're not feeling lucky.
Is anyone feeling lucky?
They're not hyped. They're not psyched. They want the big one. They want the big one. And the card is out. Let's have the number. Which school is the winner?
Our third prize goes to customer number 516946. Customer number 516946.
Madam Auditor. Oh my God, that's not a happy face. I think we need to be excused, ladies and gentlemen, just a moment.
If she can't pronounce it, it's from Matsouth. If she can't pronounce it, it's from Matsouth.
No, it's Shauna. She doesn't speak Shauna. Tomboy Sizwe Primary School.
Tomboy Sizwe Primary School. We're from Tomboy Sizwe Primary School, and I can see the excitement.
I told you.
Tomboy Sizwe Primary School. $10,000. Position number 3 in the Agribank 2019 Schools Deposit Promotion Competition. Madam, congratulations to Mtombe Sizwe Primary School.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful. Lekker stuff. Good stuff. I'm sure Mama Siabonga.
Ma'am, please come back.
You've forgotten the check, ma'am.
Go ahead, please come. The check is yours. The photographers want to take a pic.
You want to take a picture, Mama?
It's funny picking away, ma'am. Well done. We're so proud of you. You know, women are amazing. Thank you. You are not dreaming, Mama. You can get this dream. You don't have to re-dream it.
No, this one you have to.
It's yours. Escorte. Take it easy. Take it easy. You'll be fine. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was number 3. Mtombo is a primary school from Bulawayo in Matabele North Province. We move on to the second prize.
Yes, the second prize. I'm going to call upon our CEO, Mr. SMT Malaba, to come and draw.
Yes.
To draw the second prize. Sir, you know I'm from the Midlands.
Same, and I'm from Matsouth.
The Midlands is good.
Matsouth, all the people in this country come from Matsouth.
Women empowerment, Midlands.
I'm aware that there are 10 provinces, so I support any of the 10 provinces.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a fair fight, I think. Okay, so we'll sort ourselves out of our suit. Okay, but I mix the Midlands.
This has been such a very good, well-supported promotion. My head of strategy is not happy with my decision because I'm taking money from his budget. But we're going to increase the prizes from number 1 up to the second prize by 2.5.
Woo! Well done! Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That's good news. That's good news. That's good news.
Remember I said it in Gwand. That our CEO can do this. He can just increase the prices anytime because he loves schools so much.
Loves schools, yes.
Here we are.
It's testimony to the fact that the bank has a soft spot for schools.
Yes.
They are what drive us, they are what keep us going as a bank.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Right. This is the second position.
The second prize has been drawn, and they will walk away with $20,000 times 2.5. That's
50,000.
50,000.
Yay! 50,000. And the customer number is customer number 816216. $50,000 to customer number 816216. It looks a bit familiar. Norton Primary School. Norton Primary School with no number.
No account number.
Not the one that was drawn before. So, which other one? The first one was Norton 1. While she checks, let's hold our breath. While she checks, let's hold our breath.
Oh, they did it again. So it's the same Norton. This is Norton 1. Norton 1 Primary School. Well done, I'm Klope. You walk away with $50,000. From Sarapeti, Mama with a consolation prize. Oh, that was Norton 2. Wow, Norton Yaneta. Are you sure it was the national draw or the Norton draw?
Chances are we call it the Norton draw, but no, it's the national draw. It's the national draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting heated up. The school heads feel like standing up so that they can quickly walk to the car. But we will only know in a minute if it is yours. Only one school head and the SDC chairperson are going to walk towards that car and claim it. Somebody told me that this car has to drive past the Ndabazinduna toll gate. What a way of prophesying. So to conduct the grand draw, I'll hand over to our CEO.
Acting Permanent Secretary, can you please join us for the draw?
We're getting there. Which province is this going to go to?
Wait, Basutu, do we have any who are trained in first aid? Please raise your hand. Those who are trained in first aid, please assist us. If anything goes wrong, quickly jump in. We do not want to have a bigger problem than I foresee happening. It is exciting. The adrenaline is high. Oh my God. Sir, please dig in and get us our grand winner. The BAIC Grand Tiger single cab truck is going to a school with the number.
Customer number 5.
Pause.
2.
Okay, I think let's do it after lunch.
Okay. Customer number 5, 2, 3, 4, 2, 8. I repeat, customer number 5, 2, 3, 4, 2, 8.
Let's make a deal. I need you. We need a contract right now. The winner of this truck, promise me a ride to the gate at least. Will you give me a ride? You will. Therefore, I say to all those who responded, you will get this truck today. Let us hear it.
The winner is from my center, Kifamba High School.
High School are the winners of GCS Grand Prize, First Position in Agribank 2019 School Deposit Promotion. And the Grand Prize is something is about to be handed over. Something is about to be handed over. Say, Headmaster, Chibamba High School, something.
We are just going to witness the handover.
brand new truck. Then if you can just confirm the mileage. Just turn it on. You will just confirm the mileage on the truck. 24 kilometers only. 24 kilometers, ladies and gentlemen. This is a brand new truck indeed. Well done, sir. Well done, Shibamba High School.
Well done, well done, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I thought the tour was silent. As in champagne, as champagne, because not the G is silent. You know how you finish off that? That was lovely.
Agribank CEO, Mr. SMT Malaba, our directors, Mr. Macheka, Mr. Chimbera, and all the senior management of Agribank. Headmasters, headmistresses, principals, teachers, and the students who are here, all the important guests, good afternoon once again. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this very happy and memorable occasion in the history of Agribank, as well as the schools and the colleges represented here. On behalf of Agribank, I would like to thank our guest of honor, Mr. J. Dewa. Thank you very much, sir. He said we shouldn't say despite his busy schedule because he's at work. Thank you so much for coming to be with us. We want to assure you that this is indeed the consummation of a long partnership and journey together as you empower these students as they learn, as Agribank will always be your partner. To our CEO, Mr. Malaba, thank you so much for the interesting and thought-provoking presentation. I'm sure our guests here appreciated your wise insights. On behalf of Agribank, I express our profound gratitude to all our customers, the schools, the headmasters, the teachers, the representatives. Without you, there is no Agribank to talk about, and we are grateful for that. Maybe you just need to give yourselves a pam-pam. We are grateful that you are part of the Agribank family. Agribank is a very happy family, as you could see from today. To the students, I say to you, your future is bright with Agribank. And I'm happy that under our financial inclusion desk, we will be knocking the doors of your schools to try and come and teach you about financial literacy even at an early age. Because we believe that as Agribank, we already have products that are there for young adults coming through our schools. So this is not the last time that you are seeing us students. We will be coming to see you. A big thank you and congratulations obviously to the Agribank staff and in particular our marketing and sales team for the very hard work, in planning and making this event a great success. The MCs were wonderful. Thank you so much for making this occasion pleasant. We are also grateful to our police for maintaining order throughout the event. The event started at 8:30 at Agribank along Nelson Mandela, where we were in the streets dancing and so forth. So I really want to say thank you to CG Batanga, Assistant Inspector Munemo and Assistant Inspector Dube and the Harare and PGHQ teams who made this possible. Thank you to DZ Secondary Schools for the drum majorees. We really enjoyed them. Well done. And a big pam-pam to those ones. Zetarapi Primary School for the traditional dancers. Thank you so much. And words fail me for Chishawasha Primary School. I think these ones, we need to really thank them. Thank you for making our event so good and wonderful. And to our spiritual leaders and pastors who were here with us, who prayed for the event to be successful, I think your prayer has been answered. Tinotenda, Amhlope. Safe travels back to your workstations and journey messages to all those that are traveling out of town. And congratulations once again to Chifamba Primary School for working away with the grand prize, and to all the winners, well done and God bless us all.
Ma'am, thank you very much. Let's give a thunderous round of applause. Thank you for thanking us. It really feels good. Matendo manzwa say, manzwa kufaraka kutendo. Ayiwa shwa tinokutenda kuchenda kudai ndimi mufunge totenda.